History is filled with tales of power, luck, and strange twists of fate. From dark tales of dictators and their families to the absurd misadventures of the luckiest fool in history. These are stories of people who, for better or worse, left a lasting mark on the world. Welcome to a journey through the unpredictable and unbelievable. The Luckiest Fool. This is the title given to the American citizen Timothy Dexter, born in 1747, who decided to venture into trade, imagining himself to be a brilliant merchant. However, other traders mocked him for his extreme foolishness. Here's some of what happened to him. One time, a trader informed Dexter, purely to make fun of him, that the West Indies were in desperate need of Bibles and gloves. Dexter had no idea about the region's extremely hot climate, so he purchased 40,000 Bibles and 40,000 pairs of gloves. And thanks to an unbelievable stroke of luck, Dexter's shipments arrived just as a religious movement was emerging in the West Indies. All of the Bibles were sold, yielding a total profit of 100%. By another fortunate coincidence, Dexter's shipment of gloves arrived just as a fleet of Russian merchant ships reached the West Indies, and their agents bought all the gloves because the cold climate in Russia made gloves essential. Driven by jealousy over Dexter's astounding luck, the traders encouraged him to invest all his money in shipping coal to Newcastle, England, not knowing that Newcastle was the center of coal production. So Dexter rented dozens of sailboats, loaded them with Pennsylvania coal, and sent the shipments to England. Instead of becoming a global laughingstock, Dexter's luck smiled on him once more when a major strike hit Newcastle, leaving the mines empty and reducing coal supplies in the area. When Dexter's ships arrived in Newcastle, all his coal was bought up, and he made massive profits, doubling his wealth once again. Timothy Dexter turned every foolish decision into profit, thanks to incredible luck. People laughed at him, but his strange choices somehow made him rich. Known as the luckiest fool in history, his story shows how sometimes pure luck can lead to success in the most unexpected ways. The craziest battle in history. The Battle of Karansebes in 1788 is one of the strangest events in military history, where the Ottoman army triumphed without raising a sword, as the Austrian army disastrously defeated itself due to alcohol and a tragic misunderstanding. The story began when the Austrian army, with a force of around 100,000 soldiers, sent a cavalry detachment to scout Ottoman positions near the village of Karansebes, located in present-day Romania. During their reconnaissance, the cavalry encountered local merchants selling alcohol. Weary from the journey, the soldiers gave in to temptation, bought some alcohol, and began drinking and celebrating. As the cavalry reveled, some Austrian infantry soldiers heard the commotion and decided to join. But when the cavalry refused to share, a quarrel quickly broke out, escalating due to intoxication and high tension. In the confusion, one soldier fired his weapon, which others misinterpreted as a signal of a Turkish attack. Panic quickly spread, with soldiers shouting, "The Turks! The Turks!" triggering widespread fear. The army was composed of soldiers who spoke various languages, German, Serbian, Croatian, and others, and the added difficulty of communicating in the midst of a foggy night worsened the chaos. Unable to distinguish friend from foe, soldiers began firing on one another. The frontline battalions then fled back toward the main camp, believing the Turks were advancing. The other divisions, now on high alert, opened fire in defense, but tragically on their own comrades. The battle concluded with the Austrian army scattering in total disarray, having killed around 10,000 of its own soldiers and retreating from the area without ever engaging the Ottomans. When the Ottoman forces arrived 2 days later, they found the village empty, with thousands of Austrian casualties left behind. They easily entered the village and lifted the siege without any resistance. Stalin's iron resolve. Joseph Stalin, known as the Man of Steel, a name he adopted to convey strength and resilience, was also referred to by some as the Iron Devil for his ruthless methods. Among Stalin's children was his eldest son, Yakov. Due to his father's harsh treatment, Yakov once attempted to commit suicide. He shot himself, but the attempt failed, and he survived. Stalin's reaction to this incident was far from sympathetic. Instead of offering support or showing concern, he coldly reprimanded Yakov for his failure, reportedly saying that he couldn't even shoot straight. During World War II, Yakov served as a lieutenant in the Soviet army. Unfortunately, he was captured by German forces. Later in the war, after the German Field Marshal Friedrich Paulus was taken prisoner by the Soviets at Stalingrad, the Germans offered to exchange Yakov for Paulus, hoping to secure their high-ranking officer's return. Stalin, however, refused, famously stating, "I will not trade a marshal for a lieutenant." As a result, Yakov remained in German captivity, where he died under unclear circumstances. It's generally believed that he perished in a German concentration camp, and Stalin did nothing to intervene. Stalin's refusal to save his own son showed just how far he prioritized power and ideology over family. Yakov's tragic fate stands as a harsh reminder of the personal cost of Stalin's cold, unyielding rule. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out and ensures you won't miss any of our future content.